I felt so lost. I felt like I was going in circles. I felt really confused, and I was really low. And so I have been in that place, but I know the profound impact you can have on your own life when you start to get yourself into a space where you give yourself permission to actually dream big. My candle is lit. My tea is in my hand, and I am ready to start dreaming big for 2022 with you. Welcome. So in this episode, I wanted to get together with you, and I wanted to dream up some big plans for us for 2022. I thought I would just create a little space for us to just expand our minds and our visions and use our imaginations to really dream up the most amazing year for ourselves. I think so often as we get into a year, so often our limitations and we end up becoming realistic, or we imagine maybe the worst things that are going to happen, or we get so hung up on our limitations that we're actually not using our imaginations anymore to dream big and to expand our minds as to like where we can go and what we can achieve. So yeah, I think at this time of year and every time of year, it's so important to just do this and to come back to this place of dreaming, visualizing, connecting with ourselves, and really getting intentional about what we want. You probably heard me say this a million times before, but success is not an accident. We have to create success on purpose. If you want to live an amazing life, if you want to make next year way better than this year, then you have to get intentional about it. You have to make some changes. And so I wanted to start this process with you with us dreaming big. So there are a couple of different resources I'm using in this session. One is my Epic Annual Success Plan. This thing is a beast, but every year printing it out and going through it, putting pen to paper and just doing a big review and just writing everything out of like what I want to make happen, breaking it all down, creating my schedule, and it's just so powerful. So if you want, you can get this. We have it on sale at the moment, so you can grab it. It's a workbook, but which I think, to be fair, I think the workbook is the most valuable part of it. But it also does come with a video course that goes along with it, and you can grab it all for literally $47, which is a bargain. Because this is going to change your year. It's going to help you to just have an incredible year. So I wanted to go through some of the questions in this and really get us dreaming big and thinking big for 2022 and making it magical. And then also I wanted to show you how I use my planner, my perfectly planned planner, to really get clear with like what I'm going to make happen for the year and how I use it. So obviously, I love planners, which is why I created one. And this is specifically for business owners. It's geared towards you being able to like track your stats, to do reviews, to set your goals. So if you don't have one yet, you can still order them. I'm having the limited edition version for 2022, which I just bloody love. So yes, I'm going to show you how I use that to help me to get set up for success for the year ahead. But now, let's just, I don't know, maybe you could go somewhere and light a candle, get your favourite drink, and we can just sit down together and we can start dreaming big. So for me, dreaming big, I have always loved visualising. I have always loved getting lost in dreaming up possibilities and different things. So as a kid, my dad used to always teach me about goal setting and dreaming. And I think when I was like 10-ish, we went on this course to learn about the power of the mind, and that was probably the first time I really connected with this idea of visualizing. There was this visualization that we did called the house on the right bank, and in the visualization you literally create this house in your mind, and you have this it's kind of like a dreaming suite, and in this room in your house in your mind, it's a movie screen that you see, and you basically can project the life that you want to live, the things that you want to create, and things you want to achieve. And it was just, for me as a kid, it was just a really magical place in my mind I could go to start envisioning what I wanted to make happen. I created my first ever goal folder as a teenager, and in that goal folder are just also, I mean, from my grade cards at school that I had changed my grades of to have A's, to cars I wanted to drive. And it was quite, I mean, it was materialistic stuff, but it was just, as a kid, it was just stuff that was helping me to grab onto this idea of I wanted to live a successful life, and I was trying to piece together what that meant for me. And I had in the back a bottle of perfume of what I wanted my life to smell like when I was successful. And I would take out that perfume and I would just smell it. And to this day, I've still got one bottle left because I don't make the perfume anymore. It was, I think it was like Burberry London or something. And the only reason for me it smelled like success is because a friend of mine from school wore it one time and I smelled it. I think I was at her house and she lived in a really big house and it just felt like success. Like that's what it smelled like to me. And so, I've still got a bottle left from all those years ago. And yeah, even now when I smell it, I feel wrapped up in this feeling of success. So I have loved playing around with this for a really long time and dreaming. You know, you probably heard me talk about my dream jars. I've got dream boxes and all sorts. I mean, that's why in the planner, when we send the planner out, it comes in a presentation box which doubles as a goal setting box where you can put all your goals and write them down and put things in there that you want and just know that it's a done deal. When it goes into the box, it's a done deal. And that's kind of what I like to live by, this idea that we can conjure up anything we want in our imaginations. In our imaginations, we can experience anything. But for me, it's just a bit of fun. It's having fun, expanding our minds, expanding the possibilities, and just dreaming about what we could make happen and what we could achieve. And I have been on the other side of that. I've been, there was a good few years in my life where I felt so lost. I felt like I was going in circles. I felt really confused, and I was really low. And with that came anxiety, heart palpitations, all sorts. So, and that I just knew I was just so disconnected with myself, with my vision, and I wasn't using my imagination to think about the possibilities and the opportunities. I was using my imagination to think about the limitations and the struggles, and it really kept me trapped. And so I have been in that place, but I know the profound impact you can have on your own life when you start to get yourself into a space where you give yourself permission to actually dream big. So, all that said, let me drink some tea. Let's dream big together for 2022. In the Epic Annual Success Plan, the first thing I want to do with you is the manifesting an amazing year exercise. So I wrote, it says, believe it, see it, feel it happening. Before you get writing, I want you to ease into everything by just sitting and thinking about what you would love 2022 to look like and feel like. What would your best year ever be like? What would you achieve? If you feel stuck at all with this, start to think about what you don't want and then ask yourself, what would the opposite of this be? So if you know that you don't want to feel stuck next year, then the opposite would be, I am clearer than ever before and I know what I need to do to make progress and I feel supported to make it happen. Give yourself permission to just sit with your favourite drink and let your mind run wild. Keep bringing your focus back to what you want to make happen and how you want to feel. Once you feel ready, I want you to vividly imagine that it's 1 year from now and you've had your best year ever. You've achieved some incredible goals. You've completely excelled and made it happen. You close your eyes and take a few moments to picture that. Really connect with how you feel. At this point, it might be just very generalized. Maybe you don't know the specifics, but you just know you want to feel happy, successful, fulfilled, for example. Just enjoy designing your best year in your mind, remembering you are a powerful manifester, so get intentional about what you want to manifest next year. So, what is it that you want? Knowing what you want is so crucial to your success. So, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you actually want? So let's have a talk about it. And what do you want? What do you want in 2022? What do you want to make happen? What would be some really fun, cool things that could happen? Think about experiences that you want to have. Just try and think about it all and just start writing. Give yourself permission to just pick up a pen and just start writing and just see what flows to you as you think about what you want to make happen for next year. And at first it might feel very surface level. It might feel a bit awkward or uncomfortable. But as you give yourself permission to just keep easing into this, you're going to find you'll start thinking about more and more and more and more things as you just expand and expand and expand. So maybe hit the pause button and just take a moment to answer that question of what would you like? Okay, so once you have done that and really thought through that, the next question I've got for you, which I love asking myself this question all the blooming time, is how do you want to feel? How do you want to feel throughout 2022? And let me ask you this question. How did you feel throughout 2021? If you had to name your top 3 feelings throughout 2021, what would they be? How did you feel throughout 2021? How did you feel throughout 2021? So for example, for me, I definitely felt a sense of frustration and a sense of feeling a little bit out of alignment with my vision. I felt disconnected and disconnected, which led to my frustration. That feeling of, things just aren't quite right, and I want to be I want to be flowing. I want things to feel more aligned. I want to feel connected. But I was feeling slightly out of alignment. Also for me, a feeling of just a lot of joy from the fact that I got to spend a lot of time, obviously, with my kids and my husband, and we made some really great memories. We actually managed to get away on a really great trip for like 5.5 weeks to the States, which was lovely. So amazing memories made as well. So I love the fact that I gave myself permission to take 5.5 weeks off. I love the fact, that's been a goal and a dream of mine for a really long time. I also love the fact I've given myself permission to take Fridays off. I don't work on Fridays. I don't work on the weekends. I work Monday through Thursday. And I love the fact that I gave myself permission to do that this year. And it's felt really freeing to have done that. So yeah, what were the biggest feelings coming up for you? I know in the past I've had years where I've just felt fed up with myself, really fed up and ready for change. I've had years where I've just felt stuck. Years where I felt like I've just held myself back and got in my own way. Years where I felt incredibly stressed and anxious. So what is that biggest thing that's coming up for you? What came up for you over this past year? And now you are the creator of your life, and this is the biggest thing. Like, I remember it's Viktor Frankl, he said, everything in life can be taken away from you except for your freedom to choose how you respond. And to me, that's the most empowering quote, because we don't have a lot of control of some of the things that happen to us, but we do get to control and decide how we choose to respond. And that is so incredibly powerful. And this comes down to like feelings. So how do you want to feel throughout 2022? Make that decision now of how you want to feel and really own that power that you have to make that decision. If you don't want to feel stressed, then you have to make the decision that you are going to feel really, really good, or decide what it is so that you have something to aim for. So how do you want to feel? Do you want to feel powerful? Do you want to feel confident? Do you want to feel successful? Do you want to feel abundant? How do you want to feel? So think through that and write down what the top feelings are that you want to really bring into your life. So for me, for 2021, the biggest feeling that I wanted to feel was this feeling of expansion into just new possibilities and new ideas, and doing things like taking that time off, just of growth and all that glorious stuff. So what is it how do you want to feel? And as you start to write that down, something you can really do is start dissecting what little things you can start to do on a daily basis that is going to bring that feeling into your life. So for example, let's say you wanted to bring more joy into your life. What does that practically look like on a day-to-day basis? What does joy look like? What does joy mean for you? What would bring you more joy on a day-to-day basis? Maybe it's giving yourself space every morning to light a really nice candle, to drink a cup of tea, and to read a chapter of a book. Maybe it's taking time to spend some dedicated time playing with your kids. Whatever it is for you, but what brings you joy, and how can you get more intentional every single day about bringing joy into your life? And the same, for example, let's say you want to feel more financially abundant. Well, you can feel that now, even though your bank might be you might feel like when you look at your bank statement, you're not financially abundant, but financial abundance is a feeling. So you want to start vibrating at that level right now. You want to start feeling financially abundant right now. If you want to welcome more financial abundance into your life, you need to experience it now. So I literally started doing this when I decided that I want to be a millionaire. I started to look at how do I need to feel? And started to connect with this feeling of just feeling abundant in myself. And things you can do, and obvious things, for example, the perfume example is a great example, actually. That was the perfume of how I wanted my life to smell when I was successful, when I was financially abundant. And so when I smelt that perfume, it gave me this sense of feeling abundant, feeling successful. I could step into that place where it just was. I knew it was a done deal. I felt it in every cell of my being that I was successful and that I was abundant. And at the time I was a teenager, I wasn't actually successful or abundant really at all in a lot of ways from a personal level of what I'd created. And so it's but I knew how I was going to feel, and I could connect with that feeling like it was real. So this is where I'm saying use your imagination to start connecting with the way you want to feel and how you can bring more of that into your life. So really take some time to just think through that. And then the other thing that I really wanted to do that would be really fun is I want you to think about, I've got some questions for you. I want you to think about how much time would you like to take off in 2022, and when do you want to take it off? I think it's so important that you book your vacations, your holidays, when you want to take some time away. And it might not be time off work. It might be that I want to go away for a weekend every other month, or I want to go camping, whatever it is you want to do. I happen to personally really love camping. I love being in nature. And so the idea of committing to that and to being I know when I am in nature, I feel more connected, I feel more alive, I feel it's it's therapeutic for me, it is for probably all of us. And so doing things that are going to bring that feeling of connection back into my life. So that, for example, is something that I could do that would be an amazing commitment to make. So how much time would you like to take off, or what vacations would you like to take? What places do you want to go and visit? Really thinking about next year and how you want to shape it for yourself. What do you want to bring in and experience? And then thinking about what courses or books would you love to go through next year that will help you. Have a think in what ways do you want to expand, in what ways do you want to grow, and who can help support that? What would you love to learn about that's going to really help you as you grow and expand and welcome in more success and abundance? What do you need to learn? What courses could you buy? What books could you buy that could help you? And thinking about what else could help you to live your dream life next year. What else could help you to live your dream life next year? So for example, maybe surrounding yourself with more like-minded people, maybe being more proactive with building relationships with people that are going to help to elevate you and elevate you and elevate you. Maybe it's taking out more time to actually sit and read books or go through courses that are going to help you to expand and expand and expand. So really thinking about how really kind of setting the vision for next year and for how you want it to feel, what you want to experience and achieve, what places you want to visit, what, time off you want to take, what vacations you want to go on, and just really kind of piecing it all together so that you've got a really clear picture of next year. So just take some time to let that all sink in and to have fun. Sorry, I'm just turning my pages over. And have fun dreaming and getting connected. So if you're watching the video version of this, you'll see me now with the 2022 Perfectly Planned Planner. So I love getting this out and using this to get ahead of myself for planning for the year ahead. The first thing that I absolutely love doing, which I think is super powerful, is signing it. I love it. I love seeing people take screenshots and sending us this, but literally committing to, it says here, and then you put your name, commit to turning my ideas into reality and becoming a wildly successful entrepreneur. I allow success, happiness and abundance to flow into my life in a big way. And then you sign it. And then it says, I can and I will, watch me. So definitely take some time to sign a commitment to yourself, even if you don't have this planner. And then you're going to go through the year in review, which is just a really powerful thing to do, to just really look at what can you take from this year that you can bring into next year that's going to just really help you. Then your section, your 2022 goals, where you can take some time to think about what you want and how you want to feel, and then how you're going to prioritize them for the years that you've got them front and center in your planner that will be with you every single day throughout 2022. Then writing down the major steps that you need to take in order to make that goal happen. And then you've got more goals and stats. You can start setting some targets for yourself, which is just really fun thing to do. But the thing that I love the most is the overview page. So we've got an overview of the whole year where you can see a bird's eye view of the year, and you can start then mapping out. So for example, before we started thinking about vacations or time off, or what are some big things that you envision popping up in 2022, and you can start to mark it on this overview and start to see what's going to happen, which month it's going to happen in, and as you start to build out your picture for 2022. And the more specific that you can get, the more powerful it's going to be, because you are literally designing the life and the business that you want to have next year, what you want to experience. And that is so incredibly powerful. And then as the year goes, you can add things to this. So someone sent in a video recently sharing that on this page, she comes back in and she adds in the income that she made each month in here, so that she can see it as like an annual overview, and she knows that she's on track or not. And then you go into more detailed plan, and you can plan out your first quarter of the year, and so that you can see, okay, so I know exactly what I'm going to be doing, I know what I'm working on. And the thing is, if you can do this and you can fill it out so that you know what you're trying to achieve, you know what you're working on, you've got it all set, you've got that clarity, that you're going to make 2022 much more successful when you can stay really organized and focused on where you're trying to get to. It's such a powerful thing to do. It's a game-changing thing to do. Do you know the number of people that, well, a lot of people might set resolutions, but they're not organized with what actually they want to make happen and how they're going to make it happen. They're not thinking about, okay, I want this thing, but how am I going to make it happen? How am I going to bring this into my life? What support do I need? What do I need to learn? What do I need to do? Who can help me? They're not thinking through all those extra steps that are going to help set themselves up for success and for actually reaching the goal. So definitely take some time to set yourself up and to go through these questions, and just the deeper you go with it and the more time you can dedicate to doing this, the more powerful it's going to be. Coming up in January, we've got our Ideas to Income Challenge, which I am so blooming excited about. And that is really about setting yourself up for so much success throughout 2022. It's completely free. And if you've ever been part of one of our challenges in the past, you'll know that we put everything into them, we put so much value into them. So it's really for anyone, especially anyone who's been sat on ideas. You might have an idea to, to create a course or to start your business or build a membership site or whatever it is, and you might have been sitting on it, and you're just getting so frustrated because you just want to bloom and do it. So this is going to really help you to see how you can turn your ideas into income streams, and how you can just actually really step fully into your own power to create amazing things, to create incredible success and abundance for yourself. We hold ourselves back so much, and it can be so frustrating, but we don't have to. We don't have to keep holding ourselves back. There's another way to do things, and when we can make a few simple tweaks, it's unbelievable the kind of things that we can start to achieve in our lives. And I'm so excited to share so much with you over 3 days for the Ideas to Income Challenge. So sign up to the waitlist. It's you go to fea.link/ideas to income, fea.link/ideas to income, and that will take you to the page where you can find out a bit more about it. But for now, keep dreaming big about 2022. Keep thinking about what it is that you want to bring into your life, and get excited about the possibilities. Get excited about what you can make happen, and have fun expanding your mind. And there is no point in holding yourself back, because what are you holding yourself back for? You get one life. And so you need to think now about how we're going to make it count, how we're going to make next year count, how we're going to make next year the most amazing year, because who wants to live the same year on repeat? You don't want to live life on repeat. That's not what life is for. Life is for not living on repeat. Life is for expanding, for pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone. It's for reaching for new big dreams, for going for it. It's for daring to try. It's in that space where we become who we truly are, and we become the best versions of ourselves. It's in that space that we start to really create so much more fulfillment and meaning in our own lives. We're living bigger. We are truly stepping into who we are and what we're here to show up and do in the world. And that is the most amazing place that you could be. So really think through how you're going to bring that in 2022 and make it incredible. Decide that you're going to make 2022 a bloody amazing year, and go for it. So go dream big, create some space for yourself, and just get lost in the magic of dreaming and imagining, and have so much fun doing it. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Go through those questions I've shared, and I will see you next week for another episode of the She Means Business Show. I hope you've loved this week's episode of the She Means Business Show. If you want more help and support to build a wildly successful business, then join hundreds of thousands of women and become an FEA insider. You'll get access to some of our amazing freebies, to our bonuses, to our giveaways, to so much good stuff. You can join me over at fea.link/insider to get all of the goodness. And I will see you next week for another episode of the She Means Business Show.